Bonjour à tous.
Good morning, everybody.
So
we are going to have this last panel discussion on insurers and the role that they should play in the healthcare system. What is going to be their role in the future? And I have here Didier Bazocchi, Lionel Corr, the Deputy Director in charge of insurance, Gérard Vuitpeau with the MNH and EHS,
Pierre-François qui représente la Fédération Française des
Pierre-François, who is the Vice Chair of the Life Health and Protection Insurance Standing Committee, Fédération Française des Assurances. I'm turning to you, Didier Bazocchi. You know, insurers are not very well known in the health industry. What is their role? What is their mission? And how do you see the future of that business in a few years down the line? Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much. I'm not going to answer right away, and I'm not the only one here, but I'd like to recall a few figures, a few data. Our world is not very well known, but there are three areas: the mutuals, the priority world, and the insurers like MMA. Now, health insurers have covered 28 billion euros in 2019, including medical services and goods. It is quite high, and contrary to what is often said, it's not only optics and dental. We are a key player in covering hospitalizations, even though the general medical insurance is covering 98%, 92%. We're covering the technical expenditures, and very often it's forgotten. Let me use a well-known figure, which is important, that is explaining the role that we're playing with the insured people. For one insured person out of 100, more than 5,000 euros per year is left to be paid, and that's what we've done. That's the study we have conducted. So 5,000 euros left to be paid by the insured person after the mandatory medical insurance has covered the rest of it. In 90% of the cases, when we cover it, there's nothing left to be paid, or the average is 26 euros. So the role of the mutual insurance is to cover the rest of it. So when people are being covered 100%, studies are demonstrating that for a given age, a patient with a long-term treatment is going to cost 1.8 times more to the mutual insurance than the patient without any additional medical coverage. So the idea that the mutual insurance is pointless is a very dangerous idea. Another point in the introduction is that over time, it started in 2004, but over time, public authorities have used us as an additional insurance. Originally, our contract was not very binding, but it became very binding. In 2014, for example, we were forbidden to reimburse excess fees more than twice higher than the average or the basic, and so we've been used by public authorities, and it generates the fact that people don't understand anymore why we do have distribution costs and management costs, and public authorities have developed a system whereby there are intermediation costs, but they don't present the advantages of them. and it has killed innovation. And therefore, the complementary medical insurance companies have to bear the cost of the system while they've been imposed some constraints. So that was to set the scene. And, but we're going to discuss that and look at the future, of course. And we need to have time for questions. We are going to be able to come back to many of the topics that you have raised. Lionel Corr, you are the Deputy Director in charge of insurance in the French Treasury. What is your view of this insurance world in a very constrained world? How do you see the role of insurers and the fact that they should reimburse medical expenditures and the optics and the medical expenditures? Do you think their role is going to play? Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, the regulations are very strict. I represent the Ministry of Finance, which is in charge of regulating the health insurance with the health ministry in France. And I think we are at a turning point because we are experiencing a health crisis, and it will be the opportunity for us to take some distances and look at our health system and the way it is being funded, and therefore the complementary medical insurances, but also the fact that we've changed the regulation over the past few years.
Qui est vécu évidemment comme contraignant par les acteurs.
It is considered to be constraining by the players, but it is also meeting major public health challenges. Looking at the latest evolutions, we've had that solidarity contract and then solidarity and responsible. We had a reform in 2015 when we strengthened the constraints. We reinforced them in order to try to control, collectively speaking, the health expenditures. That was the objective of the reform. The fact that we wanted to cover the poorest populations. And so we have reinforced constraints on those contracts, which are the majority of contracts available on the market, because it's a prerequisite if you want to enjoy a more adapted tax and social regime. The latest evolution was the interprofessional agreement, l'ANI, which since 2016 has spread complementary medical coverage for companies. Since 2016-2017, we have spread that system to all employees in the private sector. So the health, the complementary medical insurance has become mandatory, and therefore the population has been covered more for those needs that are very important, like Didier said. And number three, the 100% health, which is a big state for public health. All French people should be able to enjoy or benefit from basic reimbursement for health expenditures, whether it is for optics, dental, or prostheses. And they should be covered for that, and that was a commitment from the President of the Republic. But it means that the contract is even more constrained. And then the latest evolution is the fact that contracts ease the fact that contracts could be terminated after the first year at any time, and that reform will be implemented progressively starting next year. The idea is to make the life of French people easier and to increase competition between different players. So why are we at a turning point? Because that regulation, that reinforced regulation, was aiming at achieving public policy objectives. That was a choice from the government and from the parliament. But it has generated many constraints on complementary medical insurance. And when we make reforms, we're waiting for the complementary insurance not to increase their prices too much. We are having discussions on the pricing of those complementary medical insurance coverage. And so it's a very constrained world.
Par certains aspects, en tout cas, je ne suis pas sûr qu'on puisse dire
I'm not convinced that we could say that
they are
an addition to the social sécurité sociale, but I think it is an extension of them. And I think we've increased their role. Well, let's say that we have pushed back the limits of social solidarity, and we have increased constraints, the regulatory constraints on those players. And the question that we should ask to ourselves in a collective manner, is the private sector still legitimate? And if yes, to do what? If it's just a substitute to the social security, sécurité sociale in French, the answer is no. Some complementary insurance companies were covering the mandatory aspects of the medical expenditures, notably in the public sector. Well, that was an extension. That was a way to replace Sécurité sociale, the mandatory medical coverage. But now we thought that we could gather the different players to make some savings. Same question for complementary insurance that would do the work of Sécurité sociale.
Ce que je voudrais tout de suite, c'est passer la parole à Gérard Vidpeau.
I would like to give the floor to Gérard Vidpeau.
Très rapidement, nous donner votre opinion, vous, sur le rôle en particulier d'un acteur affinitaire. Lui-même une spécificité, c'est-à-dire que sa propre clientèle lui vient historiquement d'un
specificity is that the customers are coming from a professional family. Now, how do you see the evolution of the role played by a health insurance company with those specificities included? Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody.
Si l'occasion se présente, enfin, je pense que vous allez
If I may,
j'aimerais revenir sur les sujets de gestion.
If we do have the opportunity to address those topics of the ANI, and we'll come back to this later on, because I think the discussion deserves to take place. I'd like to speak on behalf of the National Mutual of Hospital People, the MNH.
Un champ véritablement affinitaire. Aujourd'hui, elle couvre professionnels de santé, du social et du
health professionals, social and medical staff, private public sectors and public facilities and private facilities. Now, about its future, and it's answering one of your questions, it indeed commit itself in the social and medical social sector of disability and prevention. MNH has created the tobacco-free network in 2016 with the help of Assistance Publique and Hôpitaux de Paris. And also, unfortunately, with the COVID crisis, we haven't been able to go all the way, but we have launched a big national cause for access to health for disabled people. We also have all the programs for HIV prevention, about 20 years ago, and more recently, during the crisis, during the COVID crisis, we have developed psychological support for health professionals. So our mutual is not only an additional aspect of things, but it's taking into account all aspects of the professional life. And the scope has widened even further beyond the health complementary insurance company. More than 10 years ago, we have created
une nouvelle entreprise humaine en santé qui propose des services aux personnes morales,
to offer services
c'est-à-dire aux établissements de santé.
to legal entities, health facilities,
cette entité économique est bien dans l'écosystème de l'AMNH.
In the MNH ecosystem,
la stratégie
is in
menée
the
par le nouveau directeur général
ecosystem. The
entend
strategy
placer le groupe dans un rôle d'acteur de santé, y compris dans les activités économiques.
Manager is to
sa situation particulière, affinitaire et même
included in the framework whereby it will have a specific role to play. It's been created and managed by hospital staff, and it gives us a very strong position, in a very specific position.
Qui lui permet notamment d'être au fait de toutes les questions de santé.
We are aware of all health issues, and that's why we are persistent auditors of all the programs organized by Guy Valencien. And we are very much attached to all the solidarities which have been created, notably in the intergenerational dimension, which is an insufficient aspect of things to prevent the negative consequences of it, but it does not guarantee that intergenerational solidarity. I'm saying ANI is a good thing, but it's not comprehensive.
Justement, des solidarités qui ont été créées.
About those solidarities which have been created,
qui sont majoritaires,
the hospital staff being the majority. There are three key points: the specificity of the status of the hospital staff, equal treatment between all agents in both the public hospital civil service and all civil service, and intergenerational solidarity, which is part of the law dated 2007.
Le groupe entend se placer dans les innovations qui se dessinent.
We want to be part of the innovations like télémédecine, CPTS, prevention.
Pour conclure, c'est à la fois une situation, un rappel historique,
so it is a historical reminder, the assessment of the current situation, what are the prospects for the future. The promises of MNH have been the following. In 1960, when it was created, the message was we are going to treat you. In 1970, we owe social action to you. And then in 1980, prevention. In 2000, we protect you. And in 2001, we owe you more than health.
Tout à fait programmatique. On va revenir sur un certain nombre de notions, l'ANI, la territorialisation en particulier. Je pense que ce sont deux sujets qui sont tout à fait importants. Et la territorialisation, ça me permet de passer tout de suite la parole à François-Emmanuel Blanc de la Mutuelle sociale agricole, qui est donc,
give the floor to François-Emmanuel Blanc from CCMSA,
de l'assurance maladie
pour
les agriculteurs. Et donc, ça vous donne un statut qui est double.
Vous avez un statut en même temps de dual status. Mandatory medical coverage and also complementary medical coverage.
Et donc, cette spécificité fait voir l'évolution des métiers comment?
How do you see things in the future? A brief introduction. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for that panel discussion. I think there are a number of important challenges in the future regarding our role. MSA is the second mandatory regime in France. We make 30 billion. We cover 30 billion.
Une action qui est fondée sur les valeurs du mutualisme,
based on the principle of participatory democracy.
40 000 personnes qui interviennent au service de la santé du monde agricole et rural, dont 16 000 bénévoles,
health industry for farmers, including 16,000 volunteers. We have county volunteers that are being elected every 5 years.
Proximité géographique est impérieuse.
We need to be close to our
et nous avons également dans notre démarche cette logique de guichet unique, c'est-à-dire le traitement global de la personne. Nous sommes opérateurs de protection sociale
provide a comprehensive coverage for health, for retirement, for families. We also work in the field on health at work, and also we work on prevention. So around that mission of public service, we
régime obligatoire, l'action sanitaire et sociale.
We have the same action as a mandatory medical coverage, and we are cooperating with all players in the sector or in the sectors. And with this one-stop shop, we do provide additional services in the territories, like insertion, few health structures like the MARPA for the elderly, and we also have some actions in project engineering in the territories.
Elle est vraiment d'être dans cette démarche de protection sociale
we want to provide that social protection
dans son acception la plus large
for the last mile.
La conception que nous avons
And the way we see the evolution of the role of insurers in the health industry,
notre rôle de
we believe that our role of regulators, because we all contribute to regulate the health system between users, beneficiaries, patients or future patients, citizens.
Nous avons ce rôle de régulation au niveau national.
We do have that role of regulation at the national and local level. That role will be strengthened probably in the years to come. And there's a notion of usefulness through action programs that we can share in partnership with health professionals, but also with the beneficiaries, the patients, the insured, in relation with the behavior of the insured who are paying great attention about the fact that the insurance will be represented in their life. Now, the second role revolves around more services to go hand in hand with the solvency of the health industry. So more services to the insured, but also more services to the facilities, to the private professionals or to any other players working in the health industry, but also to local authorities. Because in the territories there are many stakeholders, many players who are legitimate in order to improve the health system. You know that we have a problem of medical desert, and the local authorities are partners, but also possible beneficiaries.
Nous avons également aussi une vision qui est celle du renforcement son impératif de responsabilité, d'innovation et d'efficience en tant qu'opérateur global.
Increase the responsibility as a local operator.
On ne peut pas parler de risque, mais
we cannot talk about risks, but this might be shared at a greater extent.
Merci beaucoup pour cette introduction.
Thank you for that introduction.
D'opérateur global.
I think that idea of a global overall operator will come back to this,
d'une certaine manière,
because we might wonder about, like we have distributed licenses for the 5G, maybe we could have a social contract under the auspices of the Parliament with the ability for insurers to cover people for the minimum of €1. Like a Dutch type of system.
Je voudrais tout de suite passer la parole à Pierre-François de la Fédération française des assureurs.
From the French Federation of Insurers. Regarding the role played by FFA, we've seen that there was an attempt to get closer to some operators with cardiologists. There's been some attempts.
La connaissance des assureurs et en particulier privés par les acteurs de santé est quand même assez
from professional health professionals. It seems that they don't have a very good knowledge of the insurers. How can you change that perception in order to develop future projects? Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Vous m'entendez, c'est bon?
Can you hear me?
Oui, super. Bonjour à toutes et à tous. Effectivement,
good morning, everybody.
Ça a été rappelé par mes
Yes,
prédécesseurs.
I think
On
it's
vit un
been
petit peu
called
un
my
paradoxe
predecessors.
du fait d'avoir
It is a paradoxical
des
situation.
complémentaires qui aimeraient bien
The fact that we
agir
have
autrement que en
complementary
supplétif, comme l'a évoqué Didier,
medical
mais qui sont un peu dans un
insurance
carcan réglementaire. L'INECOR l'a
who
presque
do have
confirmé et
to
rappelé.
follow
Et du coup,
strict
l'innovation, les
regulations,
services
and
qui ont
therefore
été évoqués sont appelés des jeux de tous, mais sont très difficiles à
is
mettre en
very
œuvre.
difficult to
Et dans notre
achieve.
relation avec les professionnels de
And
santé en
in
particulier,
our
tu l'as
relationship
rappelé,
with health
la mise en œuvre est
professionals,
délicate et difficile. On
the
n'est pas attendu.
implementation is a
Et ça,
bit
je pense que
difficult
c'est un
because
point
they're
important
not
pour le futur.
expecting us, and I
Je
think
pense
that's
que si on veut
important
être
for the future.
complémentaire autrement qu'en étant purement
I
supplétif,
think
et Lionel l'a dit,
we
si on est
could
juste
have
limite
a
de la
complementary
solidarité
action.
nationale, à un moment donné, la question va se poser notre rôle.
At one point,
Et
our
le rôle
role
n'est pas juste de
will
faire,
be
en gros, de payer le ticket modérateur,
challenged.
excusez-moi cette
It's
expression un peu
not
technique,
just by
parce que,
paying
entre guillemets, la
for
sécu ne paye pas.
what is not being covered by the Sécurité sociale. I think complementary insurance companies have demonstrated that they had the ability to offer services to all the insured while having a smooth relationship with health professionals. Sometimes it's been a bit tense. And I agree that in the future we should have better exchanges with all stakeholders, a better knowledge of the health ecosystem, and a shared confidence. The evolutions of the regulation that was mentioned, I think all federations are lamenting the fact that these evolutions have been decided without consulting us. We're not opposed to any regulation because we're used to it. Within FFA, you know, we have a conventional type of regulation, but the more we talk to each other, the more we exchange, the more we have consultation, the better the implementation. And I think that this is still lacking, the implementation of the 100% health that was done without much consultation. And therefore, in the implementation, we're not always very happy, we don't always agree, and we see that it could be difficult to look at our role. We should be strongly regulated. We do get controls from the controlling authorities, but that has nothing to do with solidarity. But our rules are not the same rules as national solidarity. They're very strict. They make sure that all the insured people are being covered. But I don't think that we should mix things up. Otherwise, our added value will never be perceived, and we will be blamed for the negative elements rather than looking at the positive elements. And the positive elements will be to trust us and to give us a role. Otherwise, the problems will persist, and we are going to talk more about the cost of the complementary insurance companies rather than talk about our assistance to care, the care journey, and what we offer to our insured people.
Merci beaucoup Pierre pour ce propos liminaire.
Thank you very much,
semble important, il y a un acteur qui n'apparaît pas ici, qui pourtant fait partie des grands fantasmes de tous. C'est les GAFAM, c'est les startups qui veulent présenter d'autres modèles d'assureurs complémentaires. Et j'aimerais bien avoir très rapidement votre position par rapport à ça.
Didier.
C'est un vaste sujet.
This is
les GAFAM aujourd'hui
quite a topic.
Montrer une réelle volonté d'offensive dans le monde de l'assurance en général, d'ailleurs, et pas uniquement de l'assurance santé.
Really tackle that particular market so far, but
compte tenu des réglementations spécifiques à l'assurance et à l'assurance santé de chacun des pays, qu'elles se présentent plutôt sous forme de courtier.
GAFAs maybe could come forward as a kind of a broker.
Qu'elles essaient de glisser entre le consommateur de soins, notre client, et l'assureur.
Between
si elles arrivent à faire ça, comme d'ailleurs les comparateurs l'ont fait dans l'hôtellerie. On a bien vu
insurance bearer and insurance company.
Elles seront en capacité,
and if that happens, they will have significant capacities to use data and do data mining, and they could then be in competition with insurers, killing the margin and the very existence sometimes of insurers. So I suppose to see them just tackling the market direct, this is a real threat. I can see this in front. Alain is an innovative player in supplemental health insurance, and I think what's innovative is really about simplifying, modernizing the client's journey, and working all of us on in the field of insurance. We try as much as possible to simplify the client's journey in a multimodal way, so it can be a seamless transition from current processes to internet, digital, and obviously given the way of our organizations and complexities there after now, and all players work towards in that direction. So what is your take on things, and in the world, in today's world, what is your take on these new potential players to take up market shares? I think these players are capable of doing the job, doing what needs to be done from a regular standpoint, and get into this market. But if GAFA really wants to take a foothold in the insurance market in France and Europe, in particular in health, there will be sizable players. I think we need to get ready for that happening. And earlier we talked about the future of supplemental health insurers, be it mutualist or parity-based or commercial players. Those players, new players, must open up new ways forward, because we've opened board the horizon of national solidarity, and most importantly, what the private sector will contribute is something different. And something different is innovation. And the GAFAs offer innovation, driving force of insurance when it comes to innovation in the sector, whilst the other incumbent players have been around for a long time. We do have startup. You've named one, and others offer services and bricks, and sometimes they can provide traditional players sort of a less centralized way of doing it, in the way they things are changing, in the way customer journeys designed, and this is part of the innovations that we're expecting. And the GAFA, will they come into the market or not? I think we want to be at least as innovative as they are. And sometimes in the market, players don't necessarily have the same background as the GAFAs, but they know what they're talking about. Insured members population, namely. When we look at the demand, okay, we need to dare to innovate, we need to go get innovation, and on the other side, we look at the state social security. How can we address this paradox for someone who has a mainstream vision of the profession? It seems to be a bit of a contradiction in terms, right? Well, it's although so less easy, because we don't have a capacity to submit patents, and sometimes innovation requires significant investment, but if those investors don't have their patent protected, then it's difficult to dare invest. And some innovations focus on prevention and services, But if I take the example of the GAFAs, as Didier pointed out today, we very much they have a very strong, they are a powerhouse when it comes to customer relations. But what protects them is the capacity to become insurers in France, for an American business or from the English-speaking world, profitability is not sufficient to attract them. And to put in their own money on these, to put in their own equity in these. So maybe we're protected by the lack of margin, profit margin that there is. As to regulatory framework, it's quite constraining, and it's not possible for some of the operators to get some of the innovations if they're not part of the responsible contracts. I won't give any examples, because that would take us too far. But players with innovative offerings, and but the problem is that these were not responsible offerings. You want to accumulate responsible offering and innovation. Implementation is challenging, and it takes us far from the market. And from a competitive standpoint, very difficult to position the offering. Now, the notion of territory, and François-Emmanuel Blanc.
Est-ce que demain, on peut rêver de passer, par exemple, avec la MNH ou avec la MSA, quand on est un élu local
private insurance, when you are a local elected politician in your village in Burgundy? Could we think about with these municipalities interest to the territories coalition during COVID crisis? Very, very efficient. And be closer to those. Maybe could we work with you insurers on introducing new private services such as telemedicine, professional multidisciplinary centers. Is this still in the kind of, are we still in this experimental stage, and are we there to stay there?
Je ne sais pas si on peut tout dire, parce qu'après, les idées sont reprises, n'est-ce pas, Pierre?
And say such things, because then people use your ideas.
Les opérateurs de santé, dès lors qu'ils
sont dans
une prospective dynamique,
as long as they are in a dynamic perspective,
guichet supplétif,
and
doivent s'inscrire dans telle perspective.
Yeah, they can fall part of such endeavor.
Et notamment dans les rôles de coordination,
can play a coordinating role in the, maybe could play a more active role in prevention actions.
Que les financements soient associés et
as long as we can have supplemental related funding. And so insurance companies' livelihood depends on the money from their insurers, so they need to set out the market that we act for the benefit of our members, but for a professional community as well beyond that. So the answer is yes for prevention programs.
Dédié à une population, à la population hospitalière ou du grand public, on doit pouvoir le faire dès lors qu'on sait le faire. C'est notre cas et c'est notre ambition également.
D'accord. Et pour la MSA?
Ah oui, bien sûr.
C'est pas seulement
un titre expérimental qu'on attend. C'est vraiment très actuel, aussi bien sur l'accompagnement de la création de l'exercice coordonné, les CPTS, les maisons de santé, donc on le fait en territoire rural, bien sûr. Nous allons déployer également à l'échelle d'une région entière une plateforme pour nos bénéficiaires, pour nos assurés, une plateforme d'assemblage de services santé et sociaux. Mise à disposition d'informations pour construire finalement du service sur mesure pour chacun de nos adhérents. Je peux donner également comme exemple aussi des actions de prévention que nous organisons en toute proximité. L'un des seuls opérateurs à pouvoir réaliser une action un soir à Espalion, dans l'Aveyron, je prends
carry out an initiative in Espalion, in the south of France, in a tiny village with 100 a population of 100 for breast cancer prevention. And this is something that we do on a regular basis with our local politicians are local liaison officers, local contacts. So we are the last miles in terms of social protection. So it's not even the last mile, it's the last 100 yards. So members are from the local, these local places. So
en Bourgogne, nous intervenons.
In Burgundy,
nous intervenons
également we are active across all these topics. We do run call projects
à partir d'un diagnostic,
on the local basis from diagnosis. We have a website that allows to identify local needs, and depending on these needs, that we will decide to launch calls for projects to meet those needs.
De la mutualité sociale agricole résulte de la demande portée par
projects are the result of the local demands,
dans un régime obligatoire. C'est une
this
singularité
is something that makes us pretty
je pense,
unique historically. From a historical standpoint, and in terms of social protection. Now,
il se trouve que
it so happens that
est le deuxième assureur en France des professionnels et de l'entreprise dans le domaine des dommages et responsabilités.
Largest insurance company in France in terms of supplemental health insurance. So prevention is key because this is about risk mitigation.
Ne nous le permet pas.
And we can't do that in the field of health because we're not allowed to do that by regulations, and there's no business model. So we are prevented from doing that. A specific cases, indeed, because the
affinitaire, donc elle a une sorte d'intégration verticale avec son milieu, donc ça facilite les choses. La MSA est un opérateur au premier euro, et évidemment ça change la donne, mais pour tous les autres, enfin la plupart des acteurs de marché,
tier one operator,
le contrat
but in reality, responsible contract and regulations, it's so intricate, has been so since 2004. There's no business model, clearly, and
disons-le. Donc si on veut vraiment
let's be quite honest, an insurer is about preventing. The job of an insurer is to prevent risks, basically. So it's not to have to bear the cost of the risk coming to turning to reality, materializing. So prevention is absolutely key. We talked about intergenerational player. Now, intergenerational solidarity in mutualist insurance is really important. When we prepared this roundtable, whether or not they can be something for public service, and in SOC, and we said, well, I didn't say no, this is something that we can consider. This might be one of the avenues to explore. So what can be done for a company like yours, an insurance company like yours? I can come back to what was said on the GAFAs earlier. I share Pierre's point of view on the non-profitability, on the fact that the French market is not profitable outside of the regulations, and that can be a turn-off, but you need to pay attention to the digital power and digitalization and in the management with the customer relations. So competition, to go back one level, is a good thing. Results in a European directive.
On s'aperçoit des effets pervers. Des effets pervers, c'est-à-dire tant certains assureurs, les GAFAM par exemple, ou d'autres, même parmi les mutuelles, qui commencent, et non des moindres, en particulier, qui sélectionnent les personnes et donc les risques.
De préférence, maybe they want to start selecting people and the risk, preferably they want to work with young people who are healthy, who don't need health care, and they might not be able to or willing to insure the elderly.
J'ouvre une grande parenthèse pour dire que dans la fonction publique, il n'existe rien de comparable.
In public service, there's no such a concept.
C'est une question de coût, une question de volonté politique.
Matter of cost, matter of political will, I don't know.
Que c'est incomplet parce que la solidarité intergénérationnelle
simply because intergenerational solidarity is not ascertained. In a country like ours, I think it's not something that can be regarded as reflecting dignity. We are an aging population, people live well, but letting people without protections, without regulations. And the current arrangements are not sufficiently protective when your working population. It's all good and well, but it's all well and good, but when you're retired, that's not so good.
Voilà, donc la réglementation qui doit peut-être arriver dans la fonction publique, qui existe déjà,
so
pas encore pour les autorités, doit prendre en compte
must take into account what I just described, fair treatment, equality in treatment and intergenerational solidarity, so as to get a social model.
Lionel, est-ce que vous voulez intervenir?
And
oui, j'en dirai un mot. Alors pourquoi pas réfléchir à l'ANI? Je ne suis pas sûr que ça s'appellera l'ANI dans la fonction publique. Faire autre chose. Mais on va en
economic model that works well. Now,
il faut quand même se poser la question.
You need to ask yourself the question. There's no necessary contradiction between one and the other, as long as you ask yourself what can be regulated. Part of this will remain as they are. And might not be subject to regulations, or might not be regulated further. In the coming years, we're coming at a turning point here. This is in terms of this border, should we go beyond with a more generalized approach? And how do we decide that we go beyond and can be done what belongs to the national solidarity, having lots of significant part of the population, part of it becoming more private in the future, and what has happened if we need to work on patents and a number of topics that have been touched on today. I think that in the coming years, in the coming months even, we are at your disposal to work together to try and set this border as much as we can, as best as we can, at least drive proposals, including in the Parliament and government, to really address the GAFA's threat, because we won't be able to resist the GAFAs, and if they are interested in coming in. Let us make this a collective effort to drive proposals. We're coming to a historical moment in this round.
Un mot pour dire que effectivement,
just to say that indeed we have a know-how, we have the, we are local, we know,
je prends acte de votre déclaration.
Worse than they are, but looking forward to exploring this further. Looking at the GAFAs and innovation associated or combined with digital or data management. We're fortunate, I don't know whether that's when it comes to insurance. I consider that technological innovation is good for health, and that this is key, thanks to health data, thanks to data collected by the GAFAs, be they European or French. Beyond that, this technology is an opportunity in relation to our mission, because we want to grow health, and when it comes to personalities, to personal development. And the state of well-being, so everything that goes in that direction is good, and we are in a field that is indeed sensitive, is important, and we need to have specifications that can guarantee there's no risk selection from a health standpoint, that there can be any adverse selection. So it means that being insured is mandatory.
Donc, comptant après sur la solidarité nationale ou l'assistance.
Counting on national solidarity to really
dans ce contexte-là, dans un cahier des charges qui serait
cover in case of major health problem, we could imagine to have an opening, more significant opening as to the role of insurers that we have today on the French territory. Maybe we might have critical sizes to reach extremely strong regulations in the sense of the guarantee of quality of service, moral ethics of intervention can be absolute, and we are talking about a universal system and insurance, health insurance, and growing health, which is our role. It's about growing solidarity because individual health does not exist without others, and we need to adapt this strongly going forward. So Pierre, if we've reached a historical moment, a moment in time, so this is an open end here that's extended. If we look at the organization, social protection in the Netherlands, the Dutch system is based on structures that are private and they commit on the basis of specifications, as François-Emmanuel recalled. So what you said to that at FFA? Would you sign up to a 5G license and national solidarity, and would you be ready to do that? So I see where this open end from the part of Emmanuel, that's
ensemble, et je trouve que la FFA est tout à fait prête à être fédérative
very ready to be to play a federating role.
Donc les trois fédérations peuvent travailler de concert sur ce type de démarche. Et comme je l'ai évoqué tout à l'heure, le monde de l'assurance est habitué à la régulation.
And the world of insurance is used to being regulated. So this is about having rules that are preset, which we can agree is not a problem. What's interesting is for rules to be set together so stakeholders can really adjust to this economic model. If we were really into innovations to point saying, well, we need to get there, and it would be very surprising if nobody gets into that market and tackles markets today. Our approach is really customer journey and innovations. So in terms of our roles in the health ecosystems, we need to integrate what we do within the health ecosystem. When we talk about the hospital think tank and governmental think tank, focusing on hospitals referred to as the Ségur. Yeah, we need to work together to come up with joint proposals, and all the insurers within FFA, are they ready to participate in this exchange? Maybe joint innovations could be selected according to very well-defined specifications. So the first euro is always scary here. Maybe in any case, this is a rule that is really that allows us to show the value that we bring, and so as to really work in social prevention, as in the case of the world of insurance, of responsibilities, peoples and goods. So all the protections in France in terms of goods and liabilities is of a very high level. Did you wanted to jump in? Well, I'm glad to hear that. And Stiglitz, American Nobel Nobel Prize. So the state and market has to cooperate because there's a symmetry when it comes to trades. Insurance played its role within a well-established regulatory framework, depending on the role that they will be will allocate them to, and we want to work with public authorities, governments, and you talked about solidarity. There's indeed a regulatory framework, and it seems that Lionel's statement has a strong opening. The over-administration. So, prerequisite is that for health insurers, as they showed in the past, in the years 2000, with the setting up of the opticians network, health insurers must be, services must be made use of by the people, and the feeling as to the public service, and the fact in particular of having a very Jacobite-inspired dimension from this government-led discussions to the field. It's dangerous and it's inefficient, and the fact that it might impact cooperation opportunities, and especially when it comes to territories, and have a very fertile soil for local dimension to get people to work together. I come back to what Pierre said when he mentioned knowing players and recognizing players, so an insurer becomes a natural partner of a physician, of a pharmacist, of a trade union, of physicians, and of a region. Not easy when you look at the statement from some of the trade unions in terms of with regards to insurers, a number of statements from other health professions. We're not talking about a climate of trust, where people trust each other. We're coming to the end of this roundtable. We have 3 minutes to go. How are you going to find to create this innovation at the end of the day? How are you going to come up with a partnership involving all the stakeholders, building into local territories, so as to come up with something that's relevant for the territories and the local population? I believe this is a matter of institutional position. Cooperation and openness is necessary to move towards these challenges that lie at the heart of the public debate. So we need to be in a position to participate in the spirit of sincerity with the public debate. Second point, we mentioned consultation agreement of insurers in national, local, democratic movements. I think democratic health bodies are well alive, and we need to work more maybe at the local level. And I do believe, meanwhile, that there are significant contributions to maybe for them to become more active than they are so far. Yes, I'd like to insist on the notion of local. Territories, local is going to be of primary significance. Now, there has to be shared will. More and more, we do come across, we do have those. And we need to share vision, and we need to play coordinating roles, not operators per se. And this is, you know, when we have liberal-inspired projects, you know, community medicine is really about it's part of the health network, and we find all the stakeholders, pharmacists, labs.
Après, il faut quelques moyens économiques. L'État a commencé à investir. Des modèles économiques pour bâtir
come up with business models.
Parce que je parle sous contrôle d'un médecin. Les approches en termes
when it comes to approach in terms of
c'est le triptyque
the medical systems, this is patient, local dimension, pathology. This is a kind of a triptych now. This is how you bring together shared worlds. We have 40 seconds to go, one word, two words maybe, that when you get to know each other more. As Didier said at the start, one of the rules, the challenges, and this will be knowing and trust, knowledge and trust. That's the key going forward. I perfectly agree with, as well as the multiplicity of players. So these are the solutions. The finance ministry has just announced the social impact approach. This is a tool that can be used for local action development. Thank you very much. Done with the roundtable on time. Guy, you want to join us? I am joining you.
Juste un petit clin d'œil à un anniversaire, le 26 septembre.
Anniversary on the 26th of September. This is Olivier Mariotte's birthday. There we are. This one is for you. Thank you.
Eh bien, écoutez, Cham n'est pas terminé.
Cham is not over yet.
Nous avons encore 3 Cham Talks jusqu'à la fin de l'année. Le prochain aura lieu le mardi 13 octobre de 18h à 19h sur le thème essentiel de la lutte contre la criminalité, la contrefaçon des produits de santé, notamment des médicaments, qui est une criminalité qui explose dans le monde. Je vous remercie tous les participants.
To all the participants, speakers, moderators, technical teams and our partners, of course, who have supported us in these difficult times, and develop an in-person virtual Cham as much as possible. Thank you very much to every one of you.